Hello, welcome to the Farmyard Garden, and indeed welcome to the first plot tour of 2025. If you're new here, my name is Claire and the Farmyard Garden is located on our 130-acre farm in the Staffordshire countryside. Now, I haven't actually done a plot tour in 2025, and obviously things have changed massively on the plot over the last couple of weeks. You'll have seen from the drone shot that we have now made all of the beds that will be making up the new extension to the vegetable garden. And obviously I have the long, laborious, hard work task of cutting all of the membrane, filling the beds with manure and topping them with compost before I can start getting planted into them. And I need to get a move on because, well, we're almost in April, aren't we? And things are really in need of getting planted out. But for now, let's have a look at what's going on in the garden, and there is a little harvest to do in the polytunnel shortly. Now I'm going to start here right at the back of the plot. This bed here forms the divider between what is my garden and the plot that is being created for my sister behind here. And in last week's video, I said I was going to be planting a raspberry hedge and that I'd explain to you why I chose the raspberries that I did. I have 5 Glenample and 5 Octavia canes here, and what you might notice is that these are called long canes, which means that these are going to fruit for me in their first season. They're obviously going to put up some new shoots this year, which will be next year's fruiting canes, but I will get a small harvest from them this year. It just shows my impatient side. And in the bed next to those raspberry canes, I have planted my first rhubarb crown. This one is called Champagne. I'm really looking forward to rhubarb in a few years' time. Moving along to the next beds here, these cordon fruit trees have actually all taken quite well. So far, so good. I can see buds coming on almost all of them. And I'm really looking forward to seeing these come into leaf and maybe a little bit of blossom this year. Who knows? Plan for this bed is to get it all underplanted. I've loads of zinnias and I'd like to put some lavender and things, a proper pollinator highway along here. Carrot boxes and parsnip boxes have yet to have any work done to them. They all need topping up, but I need to get that done shortly and start planting into there. Now, I can't walk past the table without mentioning just how pleased I am to have moved this up here. It feels so much more integral to the garden now, and indeed we've sat on this far more in the last few days than we've sat on it in the last 3 or 4 months. It just makes perfect sense, and when all of these beds behind it are planted up, it's going to look absolutely amazing. Now, I haven't yet decided what I'm going to be planting in these first beds here. I think I need to just get them all sorted first and get the wood chip laid down, but plenty of options here. I do have some onions that need putting out and some leeks, and there's loads of cabbages yet, so it's going to be fun deciding what is going to go where. With the new plot extension, I have ended up with 5 1.2 by 2.4 metre beds down this end, that's 8 by 4. I've got 5 1.2 metre squared beds here. The 2 beds here directly behind the picnic bench are destined to be cut flower beds. Altogether, we built 16 raised beds this weekend. That's not including the rhubarb bed, the raspberry hedge bed and the mini orchard bed as well. I am really pleased with the beds outside the polytunnel. All of the bulbs seem to have taken well and are coming up now. And it's already looking pretty, but wow, what a display we've got coming in the next few weeks and months. Now, coming back to the first bed outside the polytunnel, these are the brassicas that have been struggling the way through winter out here, and they do seem to have put on a bit of growth, so I'm hopeful that I am going to have a decent crop out of these much later than the ones in the polytunnel, but that's great because that's nature's way of staggering our harvests. Moving across to this bed though, and the purple sprouting broccoli haven't fared as well. They do seem to be literally just clinging on to life, but the shallots have started to throw up some foliage now, so I'm hopeful that they are going to do well for me this year. Now, there's no vegetables growing in these 2 beds either side of this archway, although there are a few tulip bulbs in here. Similarly, there is no vegetables growing in this bed here. All of these beds have had some manure and compost, so they are ready to be planted into in the new growing season. But I do have my garlic in this bed here. And as you can see, it's all looking really quite healthy. And I do believe that one of the elephant garlic is just starting to come up here as well. So that's really exciting. Now, one of the things that I've been debating for a while is whether this black mesh was going to be fine enough to have over garlic. And there's actually quite a few gnats about today with the weather being so nice. And I can see that there are a few gnats within this black mesh, which tells me that if they can get in, so can the allium leaf miner. So I think in the next couple of days, because it's getting quite important now we are moving towards allium leaf miner season, that I am going to take this black mesh off and actually go back to white mesh for onions and garlic. All of the fruit trees that I have planted in these little diamond planters are in bud now, and there's loads of bulbs and flowers coming up. Some of them are so pretty. I have absolutely no idea what these are though, because I did plant irises last year, but these are the irises, and I don't know what these are. I'm sure we'll find out. Moving across from the garlic bed, I do have broad beans in this bed here. These are aquadulci that were direct sown in November. I grew the same variety last year. In fact, they are exactly the same seeds, and they were much stronger and much taller than these before they started putting some flowers on. So definitely not the best crop of broad beans from these this year. And then finally, the last bed at the top of the plot is the leek bed, and these leeks are continuing to grow on really, really well. No sign of any rust or anything, considering they've been out all winter. And now it's just a waiting game for them to get a little bit fatter before they get picked. Stepping inside the fruit cage, I'm really pleased to say that everything that I've planted over winter seems to have taken in here as well. The strawberries especially have put on some growth now and greened up somewhat. There's loads of buds coming on the cherry tree. I am hoping for more than just a lone cherry this year. All of the blueberries are in buds. These pink lemonade ones especially seem to be quite well established now, much bigger plants than they were last year. But they are all looking pretty happy with life right now. Gooseberry here did not look well at the end of last season, and I can see that there are only a couple of shoots here that seem to have any life on them, so I probably should have cut out the rest of it. I'm not sure whether it's too late to do that now. Real stars of the fruit cage though seem to be these currants, the black currant there on the end, this beautiful red currant in the middle, and then I have a white currant here, and they all have come into leaf far earlier than anything else. And if I look at all these little buds on the red currant, that's showing some great promise for later on in the season, isn't it? Now, I was utterly convinced that the grape had not survived winter again, but I'm pretty certain that these buds are the start of new life for this season. So maybe this is the year that it'll really get going, because it's been planted since September 2023 and we've not had any growth on it really. A couple of buds here on the jostaberry, so it looks like that's taken. I'm pleased about that. No sign of life yet on the autumn fruiting raspberries, but I haven't given up hope, so I'm just biding my time with those. But what does have a good sign of life here is the aronia berry. Look at all those leaves coming on here. Wow. Back outside the fruit cage underneath the archway, and there's nothing again in these two beds really apart from a globe artichoke in this corner. They did nothing last year. It's done well through winter, so I'm hoping it's going to put on masses of growth and I get to try my first ever globe artichoke. Never even seen them in a shop, so I've certainly not tried one for myself. Hoping that we like them, but if we don't, no big loss, because the pollinators will love them, and apparently if you do let some of them go to flower, they are absolutely beautiful. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing that structure and colour as well. What I am going to be planting in the bottom of this bed in the next couple of weeks is another rhubarb crown. Danny sent it to me from the Grow Up channel. It's obviously been sent in the post, so it's just settling for a few weeks before I move it again outside into this spot here. But I think that'll be a good home for it. And so this bed here was the bed that had my dwarf artichokes in it last year, and I'm hoping that there are still some in the ground there to come up again this year, that I haven't dug them all out. And then this is my asparagus bed, and you know, I think I'm going to have a second asparagus bed at some point this year, because I certainly have room for it now, don't I? It's really exciting to see that at least this crown here has survived winter, because I do have the first spear coming up here. And if I move to the front of the bed, you can see that I have some more coming up here, just poking their little heads through the soil. The fruit trees on the grass area are actually coming into bud now. This one here is a gala apple. This is a pear tree that's unpronounceable to me. And then I also have this Victoria plum here, which has got so many buds on it. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm really impressed with how that's coming back to life this year. Right down the bottom of the grass area, you can see that this fig tree has also survived winter. This is a brown turkey fig. I'll just swing by the flower bed outside the wash house on my way to the greenhouses, and you can see that all of these bulbs are coming up now and it's looking absolutely beautiful. It's also looking very, very weedy. All of that soil, which wasn't getting much light before we cut the trees down, has decided, well, all those weed seeds can now grow. So I've got a lot of work to catch up on in here. That's a big weeding job to do. Just head into the greenhouse. It's like an absolute jungle in here, isn't it? If it's not the cabbages that are doing well, then I have some flowers out here now. Cosmos has been moved outside here. The first lot of peas really need to get going out. The second lot are coming through. The stir-on onion sets, well, look at them. They are looking great. Moving over to this side, you can see that the first batch of sweet peas have really started to thicken up since I've pinched them out. And this second batch here will probably get pinched out in the next few weeks. And then on the end, I have actually pinched out these ones, which are the Tangier wild sweet peas. So I'm looking forward to the display that all of those are going to give me this year. I still need to plant on those broad beans. These are the Apache spring onions. Now this is really interesting because these have done really, really well. But this is the same packet of Apache spring onions that I sowed last summer and had zero germination. So I don't know why they didn't germinate then, because they've all come up really well now. Got a couple of antirrhinums here, red baron onions, and then some Duncan cabbage at the back. These are my autumn sown Senshui onions, which really haven't done that well for how long ago they were sown, but they're putting growth on now. My sister bought me this, which is a Welsh onion. And then these are the below zero leeks that you saw me sow not too long ago. As I mentioned when I was outside, these are some purple globe artichokes. On the shelf here I have these pixie cabbage. Now these were also sent to me in the post as seedlings by Danny from Grow Up, and he got the seeds from Ali at my rusty garden. Got a few trays of marigolds here. This is my Sun King calabrese, which has just started to come up, and some more red sun shallots, which probably need the tips breaking on them so that they can come out, because they haven't done much since I planted them. If you just pull the top off them like that, there you go. You can see daylight now. In the middle here, these are all foxgloves. They're the elephant garlic, which will be going out onto the new beds once I've set them up. More red baron onions. And then moving along here, more antirrhinums. Over the back, we have my miniature dwarf sunflowers, Little Dorrit and Babyface. Quite a few of those, which will probably be going around the new mini orchard. And then on the end here, I have my asters. And these are looking absolutely amazing. Really happy with those. Now if I just step back outside the greenhouse, this is the rhubarb crown that Danny sent to me, and it is doing okay there. Don't know what the variety is, but I will get that in the ground very, very shortly. And there are still things growing in the other greenhouse. In here I have a tray of Boldor beetroot, red ace beetroot. These are some Whitex cauliflower, red calabash. This is Ruby Crunch sprouts, and then they are the Brody sprouts. I've only got a couple of those come up, and there's all year round lettuce on the end. If we look down at the tubs here, you can see that the Red Duke of York potatoes that I planted on, what date was it now? The 7th of March, have well and truly popped their heads up now. I have to say, I'm really surprised at the colour of the foliage. I didn't expect this really deep green and purpley foliage on them. I also have another apple tree out here. This is a Braeburn. Couldn't resist it at the local garden centre, so I've got to find a new home for that too. Now, I haven't actually shown you the polytunnel yet, and that's because it's the last thing I want to do today, as there are things to harvest in there. So I've got myself a harvest truck. Let's get back to the polytunnel. Standing in the back of the polytunnel, and I don't really think you need me to tell you what explosion of growth there has been happening in here since I last showed you around. I mean, everything is looking really, really well, isn't it? In fact, a bit too well for some things. The rocket here has started bolting, as have some of these oriental mustards. I've been picking loads and loads of these, but now it's getting to sort of 26, 28 degrees some days in here. These are thinking it's well into late spring, hence why they've suddenly started bolting. But one of the things that has done really, really well with the recent warm weather is the purple sprouting broccoli. They are looking absolutely amazing. And in fact, there's plenty to harvest here, and I saved that task to show you during the plot tour. Look at the size of these heads here. can barely get my clippers open far enough for it. Wow, so pretty. Now these winter density lettuces, some of them are starting to heart up, and whilst it's probably not quite ready yet, I really fancy lettuce for tea, so I am going to be taking this one with me right now. Look at that. Wow. Lettuce in March, grown all through winter. Absolutely beautiful. So exciting. And if we're having lettuce, then we definitely need to be taking some more of these mustards in. Oh, these nice new leaves in the centre. Have a few of those. Look at them. Lovely. I couldn't be more thrilled with what a lovely little harvest this is here, especially for the time of year, and to be able to enjoy it on my little bench right outside the polytunnel. Next week, I'll be continuing work on the plot extension and putting up all of my pea and bean structures, because it's time to start planning what we're going to grow where. And I will check in the house with you and show you how all of the seedlings are doing. I have just sown my tomatoes this week, so hopefully by next week, a few of those will have germinated too. I'll catch you in the next video. Look after yourselves. Bye.